Hey guys, Ash here. Just a heads up, this video will contain spoilers for Power Rangers Dino Fury Season 1, so if you don't want to get spoiled because you're keeping up with the US airings and not the international spoilers, this video definitely will contain spoilers, so click off this video while you can if you don't want to get spoiled. But with that said, on with the video, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So, Power Rangers Dino Fury Episode 22. I don't know if I'm going to have a lot to say about this episode, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, this episode is a Christmas-themed episode. It's a clip show, once again, which it wasn't a bad clip show, I will say that. Like, I enjoyed how they incorporated the clips into the episode by having certain reminders of what happened in certain episodes here and there. And they did it for almost every Ranger, which was also really cool. But like I said, this is a Christmas special, this is a clip show, and it's kind of an epilogue from the season finale, or episode 21, we got the other day, or whenever you're watching this after this review. So it's kind of that weird epilogue after the season finale, after the big climactic battle. It's kind of a cool down episode where everything's all happy and peaceful, but there's a little bit of weird things that kind of don't get explained properly. One of them being Mucus and Slifer somehow got out of the Dark Dimension, but they don't explain how they got out of the Dark Dimension. It's kind of like the end of Beast Morphers Season 1, where Scrozzle came back in Scrozzle's Revenge, and they blew up Scrozzle and Scrozzle's Megazord. A lot of people thought that Scrozzle died in that season finale, or that Christmas special, but Scrozzle was alive and well in Season 2, Episode 1, and they kind of don't bring up the Christmas special at all. They just thought that Scrozzle sort of got away at the end of Episode 20 in Beast Morphers. So they kind of ignore the Christmas special here and there, so I don't know if they're going to be doing that again. So what's the premise of this episode? Well, it's Christmas time right after episode 21 of Power Rangers Dino Fury, and all is well and things are peaceful. And I gotta give props to the set designers for this episode, because they made New Zealand look like downtown LA covered in snow. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't snow in LA, but they do give the Christmas theme to New Zealand, which this was probably filmed maybe during the summer. I'm guessing summer, spring, which they did an excellent job making New Zealand look like a place covered in snow, which I gotta give props to the set designers as for doing that. They did an awesome job. But Harvey is trying to busk for money so he can buy Solon a gift, and Slifer, disguised as a human, and I'm pretty sure Slifer's human disguise is Campbell Cooley. I can't tell for sure because he's wearing a fedora and he's got long blonde hair. He kind of looks like Heisenberg from Resident Evil. It's a blink and you miss it cameo, but I'm pretty sure that's Campbell Cooley once again in Slifer's disguise. I could be wrong, but if I am wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. But Slifer puts a Christmas tree in Harvey's guitar case or keyboard case as he's busking for money, and it's actually a trap. So the whole premise of this episode is Harvey and Solon are stuck at the base while the other Rangers find gifts for Solon and Harvey, and while that's going on, Harvey and Solon have clip show flashbacks of the previous episodes we've seen, like I mentioned earlier, because there's a bomb that's going to go off in the base within 10 minutes. And funny enough, if you pay close attention, that bomb going off in 10 minutes, I'm pretty sure that is like set to go off when the show ends if the Rangers didn't disarm the bomb in time, because it goes off at the 6-minute mark of the show, and then it cuts to commercial. I think there's roughly about 2 to 3 minutes of commercial, could be longer, and if I'm correct, that bomb would have went off like roughly when the show was about to end. I could be wrong, I could be right, but that's what it seemed like to me if I paid close enough attention to what they were trying to do. So while the other Rangers are fighting bad guys, Slifer and Mucus, who have gotten out of the Dark Dimension, like I mentioned earlier, they don't explain how they got out of the Dark Dimension, they just say they got out of the Dark Dimension, and they're ready to avenge Void Knight, who is apparently dead, if you watched the last episode, we don't know Void Knight's fate, which is, like I said, it's kind of the same in Scrozzle's Revenge. We all thought that Evox was dead after episode 20, or the season finale for Beast Morphers season 1, and it's kind of the same premise here, where the bad guys are avenging their master, and they steal a magical book from Santa Claus. This gets so wacky. They steal a magical book from Santa Claus or Santa, and apparently whatever you draw in it, it comes to life. So the bad guys draw a monster, and the Rangers fight it, which the Rangers are able to destroy the monster, and then you have another scene where Slifer makes a giant clone of himself that fights the Rangers, and that ends up getting destroyed as well, which was a really cool fight scene. I think it was mostly Sentai footage, that Zord scene for sure, but it was a pretty good fight scene between the two Zords and Slifer. So Slifer doesn't really get destroyed, his clone does, and it kind of leaves the bad guys up in the open, but who knows if that's going to stay true or not, because, like I said, these Christmas episodes, their canon with the main story is very loosey-goosey. But yeah, I don't know what else I can say about this episode, because like I said, it's a clip show, it's a Christmas special. A lot of people love these clip shows, a lot of people hate these clip shows, they're pretty much mixed with the fandom, but I don't have anything bad to say about this episode, apart from it's not a bad thing, but it's a small nitpick, and it's probably on my end because of how I run the YouTube channel and how I review Power Rangers for you guys and I talk about it. Most of these episodes I've been watching daily. Some of these episodes they showed, I've seen over the span of 2 weeks, where the younger audience, or the audience that it's aimed for, that it airs on Nick, most of these episodes would have aired over the span of now to airing in December, when this clip show is meant to air. I think this episode 22 is meant to air at the end of December, so that totally makes sense by airing a clip show over by showing clips of a season that's happened this past year. But for someone like me, or you, or someone else, you've probably seen these episodes back to back, so you probably remember them very, very firmly. Firmly or strongly, you probably remember them very, very strongly, so I can understand the target audience for this clip show, but for someone like me, I don't know, I remember these episodes very, very well. But anyway guys, that's my review slash recap slash ramble on about episode 22 of Power Rangers Dino Fury. It wasn't a bad episode, it was fairly decent, and I enjoyed it quite a fair bit. It was a very wholesome episode, and I thought it was a very sweet episode. It wasn't bad. It was a nice, fun episode. It also had my boy Slifer in it, and I love hearing Campbell Cooley as Slifer. Slifer's a fun character to see on screen. Even if it was a clip show slash Christmas special, it was cool to see Slifer again in this episode. So I'm going to bring this video to a close. Special thanks to all the Patreon supporters and YouTube members such as Swagger4 and Andrew McCoyle. If you want to get your name shouted out like these guys over here, hit the join button or become a Patreon supporter so you can have your name in the credits of every video all shouted out like these guys over here. I'm going to keep making Power Rangers Dino Fury content as the year goes on. I've got ideas, I've got tricks up my sleeve, I've got theories planned, so stay tuned for that for more Power Rangers Dino Fury content. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Well, I do know what I'm going to do, but some of it is going to be a surprise for you guys, so stay tuned for that, and look forward to more Power Rangers content on the channel. So I'm gonna wrap this video up now. Thanks for watching, have a wonderful day or night, and thanks for joining me for 22 episodes of Power Ranger Dino Fury reviews. Bye!